within the last 12 hours right now, with the pressure of President Trump putting on the Colombian leader, and it seems like the Colombian president has already caved to President Trump's threats here. So let's bring in a very special guest here on Live Now from Fox to help break it down. Health Kemper, national security expert. Thank you so much for being with us here. We always appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
All right, so let's talk about this, Hal. It seems like this was all done within a round of golf here for President Trump, who is enjoying this Sunday golfing as he normally does. But it seems like we already got a conclusion to this whole ordeal with taking back the migrants.
Mike, if they were playing a round of golf, I'd say they were playing 9 holes. This went really fast. This was basically part of it was a little slower. Part of the President Trump's deportation program is sending flights down to Latin America. He's got flights going into Guatemala. There's a site there where they're flying a lot of aliens into, and then also, and I think the Guatemala isn't just Guatemalan aliens are actually, or I should say Guatemalan citizens are actually flying some others from Central America and possibly even Mexico down there. And then they're sending flights to down to Colombia and other places. But the interesting thing is that they've been using military flights. Of course, the military is very responsive. They can get the military stuff set up very quickly, and they did. And Colombia's president took great exception with that. Gustavo Petro, he's more of what's considered a left-wing socialist politician in Latin American politics. And I'm not just saying that. He describes himself as a socialist as well. And so he kind of pushed back. He says, hey, this is not dignified. I don't want military flights down here with Colombian citizens coming down from the United States. It just doesn't look right. And he pushed back, says, we will not accept them. And so President Trump turned around and said, well, we're going to slap a 25% tariff on all Colombian goods coming into the U.S., and if we don't resolve it in the week, it's going to go up to 50%. Well, this would have catastrophic economic implications for Colombia. And so he immediately turned around, and I won't say completely turned around, but he definitely turned around. Some would say partially. I would say if it wasn't a 180-degree turn, it was probably close to a 170-degree turn. He said he will use the presidential jet from Colombia to fly Colombian citizens back down to Colombia. Now, it's not clear at this point if he has completely allowed U.S. military aircraft to fly Colombian citizens down, but I would say there's a lot of room there for negotiation. And by the way, when you're talking about military planes, when they outfit them for passengers, or what they call packs in military parlance, when they outfit them, they have these modular seat configurations they put in. So when you're inside, I mean, it's not a nice airline type of feel, but you do have seats. It's got all the stuff you'd have on a regular airline, to include food service and everything else. So it is not some barren back of a plane like we're kind of used to when we see, when we evacuate people out of, for example, out of, these sort of exigent things like Afghanistan or something like that. You just are basically piling people in the back of an empty, C-17 or something like that just to get them out. This is not that. My understanding is these planes have been basically had the modular seats put in and everything else. But with that said, having a U.S. military plane, he found politically offensive in some ways, and or certainly, it has a certain appearance to it that's different than a civilian airliner. And so he's pushed back kind of, but if you say the presidential plane, by the way, there is no rapid way to refit the presidential plane. I mean, and these I feel bad for the Colombia. Well, look, if you're trying to get to the United States from Colombia, I don't care how you got there. It's a tough trip. And especially if you have to go through the San Blas region, of Central America, where it is just jungles and everything there can kill you, to include most of the people that are there in the jungle as well, who are, gang infested, everything else, and then work your way all up to the U.S. And then if you get deported, you're being put on one of the most sumptuous executive jets in the world, flying back down to Colombia. It is, I have to say, for some, they're going to be kind of spinning their heads going, this is very strange. You know, not thrilled with being deported, but this is a very interesting way to go back.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about how surreal that would be, that you're coming back on a presidential plane. And I just want to wonder, the president there of Colombia, he thought it would be disrespectful to come back on American military planes, but now coming back on his own presidential plane, is he worried, do you think, about maybe what condition it's going to be in when it arrives back?
I think at this point, he's just so desperate to stop the 25%, the 50% tariff schedule that I don't think he's worried about it. And by the way, one of the things that is at the disposal of the president that he can make a quick decision on is releasing his own plane for any purpose. So I think that may have been part of it. It was a quick, I've got to do something sort of reaction.
Hi, this is Sharon reporting from Bad News Media. Thanks for subscribing to our channel and giving us a thumbs up. We really appreciate your support. Please feel free to leave us a comment and share this video with your friends. Thank you.